Nigeria has joined the rest of the world to mark this year's World Day for Safety at the Workplace. This comes as the International Labour Organization calls on the federal government to improve workers' safety in Nigeria. The country representative of the ILO, Mr. Dennis Zulu, said domestication of the ILO's Convention 155 on occupational safety would reduce cases of avoidable accidents at the workplace. Globally, an estimated 2 million workers die from work-related accidents and diseases annually. The Consumers Protection Council has read the riot acts to service providers in the telecommunications and aviation industry, as the council warns against violation of the consumers' rights. Addressing members of the Mentorship and Business Development Forum of the Nigerian Bar Association in Abuja, Director General of the Council, Dupe Atoki, notes that the Council has received several complaints from consumers, including unsolicited messages from telecommunication service providers while making them pay for poor quality of service. She decried the action of airline operators offering shabby treatment to their customers through delayed flights and outright cancellation without compensation. The CPC warns defaulting organizations to amend their wrong ways or face legal sanctions. Nigeria needs economic reforms that are driven by people and not the government. This will be the key focus on Saturday, April the 30th at the Platform, a global media event designed to channel personal capacity towards national development. The convener of the Platform, billed to hold in Abuja, Pastor Boju Oyemade, says it is time Nigerians are guided to discover previously concealed opportunities.
Beyond the diversification of the Nigerian economy, which has been top on every economic agenda since the crash in oil prices, there is need for the majority of Nigerians to seek capital in obvious places which have previously been overlooked and draw resources from these. That's the premise upon which this 11th edition of the Platform is built, to examine the untapped ability in the numerous assets of the country which are capable of growth and can generate surplus, and encourage Nigerians to disregard obvious challenges, aim for success. Bringing up the rear in series of sector-focused discussion platform, the visionary behind the platform says this edition will focus on technology, SMEs as economic vehicles, arts and entertainment, and how to use the power of data to unlock national potential.
Nobody will put money down to support you until they have seen things that you have brought out. So the real order, and this is one of the things we want to change in the thinking and in the systems way people think, that listen, there is too much dependency on external things, that there is a method and a way in which these things can be accomplished.
Discussions on public education and enlightenment is necessary to bring about economic changes that are people-driven and not government. But citizens must move ahead and dictate what government brings at every point.
You can't wait for the government. How many people can the government employ? How many? And I keep saying it, even the 56,000 is not even enough. What we should really look at is look inwards. Even as a nation, we need to look inwards. Nobody's coming to help you.
These professionals say Nigerians must learn the principle of starting out work for free and building a strong clientele base, irrespective of your discipline or economic disposition.
It does not matter what it is that you read or where you are right now. As long as you keep looking outside, you will not be able to create that change you need.
In the next few days, resource persons on the platform will be examining the many unrealized abilities that lie in the other assets that the nation possesses besides oil. The Vice President is expected to grace the occasion, and the focus will be on encouraging as many Nigerians as possible to move away from the over-dependence on government and build their businesses to successful heights. Amelogo Nadi, Channels Television News.
Time to move on to business news on the news at 10 with Adeshawa Josh.
You first. First Bank.
Good evening. Welcome to Business News. Financial market operators from 26 African stock exchanges have been brainstorming on how to improve liquidity in the capital market. At the first edition of the Building African Financial Markets Forum in Lagos, derivatives trading and technology took the center stage. The host and chief executive of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, Mr. Oscar Onyema, expects the program will reposition Africa on the global stage.
The use of technology to enhance liquidity, be it in open access, be it in efficiencies with delivering orders and really getting more transactions going. And then in the microstructure realm, we're looking at tick size, bid-ask spread, so implicit and explicit costs. How much does it cost you to do a trade? And how wide is the bid-ask? Because actually we found that your implicit cost can be a lot more than your explicit cost. Our hope is that the level of discussion is going to trigger innovation, is going to trigger new ways to open up liquidity in capital markets across Africa.
Trading at the Nigerian equities market closed in the positive territory, gaining 0.6% on Thursday to close at 24,957.08. Bolaji Akiwale tells us more.
Welcome to the Stock Market Report. The equities market paired the previous day's loss, gaining 0.60% to close at 24,957.08. Market volume came in at 338.3 million units at the value of 1.99 billion naira and traded by investors in 3,428 deals. The gainers chart had a mix of financial and consumer goods stocks as leaders. Wema Bank is up 5.33%, coming ahead of Flour Mills and Nascon with 5% and 4.88% each. On the laggards list, May and Baker and Fort Oil topped the chart, losing more than 5% each. The highest volume of shares goes to FBN Holding with over 171 million units. And that's it on the Stock Market Report. I am Bolaji Akiwale.
Thanks a lot, Balaji. Also, let's check out closing figures from other markets around the world. That's Business News tonight. The news at 10 continues in a moment. I am Adeshewa Josh.
You first. First Bank.
The Prima Foods PLC, makers of Indomie instant noodles, have announced the commencement of the 9th edition of the Indomie Independence Day Award. The public relations officer of the company, Tope Asiwaju, explains that the award extols the exemplary accomplishment of children who have shown uncommon courage and determination in difficult situations.
It's the 9th edition of the Indomie Independence Day Award, and as usual, Prima Foods is set to reward 3 children who have exhibited extraordinary acts of bravery in the last 1 year.
The whole intention was to move it closer to the state of power.
The selection process, done in 3 parts, have been designed in such a way only the best acts will be recognized.
For this year, it's same criteria that we're setting for ourselves. We're saying that there should be some degree of risk involved. There should be some kind of ingenuity in what we have done, so that it's not just the physical aspect that we're looking at. Of course, there also should be something that's worth emulating amongst the children. All this we're putting together to ensure that we have a balanced opportunity for all in this category.
The 3 lucky winners are expected to win 1 million naira each.
Sure. So in those 9 years, we celebrated our 24 heroes in past 8 editions. This year, the new thing which we are doing is we do not want to call upon first, second, and third, as we see that all the kids who have exerted some things or the other, they are heroes. So we are coming up with 3 categories, and all of them are equally celebrated as heroes. So there won't be any criteria of first, second, and third. These are the intellectual, social, and physical bravery category, whereby these 3 kids who are topping in these categories would be celebrated and recognized. Indomie as a brand, we celebrate the kids in Nigeria.
This short documentary shows 24 children who have, through their acts of bravery, saved lives in the past 8 years.
14-year-old Khalil Bala, who got bombed by fire while trying to save his sibling.
So, who will be the heroes of the 9th edition of the Indomie Independence Award, and what act of heroism will they have exhibited? That question will be answered in October. So let the search begin and let the heroes arise.
The Nigerian Liquefied Natural Gas Limited says that amending the act setting up the company will undermine Nigeria's efforts to attract investment into critical aspects of the economy. The managing director of the company made the submission during a one-day public hearing on the bill for an act to amend the NLNG Act. Some of the participants at the hearing also appealed to the House of Representatives to leave the act unchanged, while others say the amendment is long overdue. Our correspondent Larry Lasisi has the report.
Minority Whip of the House, right on.
Traditional rulers, representatives of government ministries, departments and agencies, and major players in the oil and gas sector. They are appearing before the House of Representatives Committee on Gas Resources for a public hearing.
On a bill for an act to amend the Nigerian Liquefied Natural Gas to empower the NLNG Limited to make its statutory contributions to the NDDC fund and for other matters connected therewith.
It was then time to hear from the participants.
This sort of amendment could undermine Mr. President's effort to attract investment into Nigeria, because the international community will see this action of varying this act as contrary to promises that were made before investments were made.
We always make demand every year, but NDDC and Nigerian Liquefied Natural Gas systemically refuse to obey that. That it, NLG Limited, is not a gas processing company. They always hammer on that one, that they are not oil gas processing company in the context of the NDDC Act.
NLNG has not been part of the problem. NLNG has been part of the solution in terms of the environmental degradation. They have been the most successful way that Nigeria has been able to address gas flaring in Nigeria, and thereby have actually provided a major solution.
The committee ensured that most of the participants were heard, with some in support of the amendment and others against it. Speaking afterwards, the managing director of the NLNG highlights one point Nigeria needs to keep in mind.
There is a promise, an assurance that Nigeria has given to international investors to obtain $6 billion of investment in Nigeria, which has yielded over $33 billion to Nigeria. We should not jeopardize this by reneging on our promise.
How are you? Thank you. Now, the committee says all the views that have been expressed here will help guide the committee in taking a decision on whether or not this amendment should go forward. It will then put forward its recommendation on this to the House of Representatives. Lanre Lasese, Channels Television News.
The United States Ambassador to Nigeria, Mr. James Entwistle, wants the federal, state and local government in Nigeria to do more for the people in terms of providing basic social amenities. Mr. Entwistle said this when he visited Tomorrow Island, a riverine area close to the U.S. consulate in Lagos.
This one is nice.
The boat journey by the U.S. consulate delegation from the Walter Carrington end of Victoria Island, Lagos, to Tomorrow Island, which comprises 26 riverine village settlements in Amuwo Odofi local government area of Lagos State, is about 15 minutes. The U.S. ambassador to Nigeria, Mr. James Entwisle's visit to Tomorrow Island follows the building of a one-room clinic in 2012 by U.S. consulate volunteers and the establishment of a junior and senior high school on the island in 2011 by a New Jersey elementary school teacher, Dina Grushkin. As a delegation tours health and educational facilities on Tomorrow Island, the people voice their areas of need.
We want NEPA electric, so we want training school, and then big hospital. We want it to government from government. We want borehole. That is the thing we want.
Did government bring any borehole before?
We are then big in no work.
The solar energy, that is the first government presence we are seeing here, and is connected to the classroom and not to the teachers' quarters.
The state government, the federal government, they have the primary responsibilities for electricity and all of these things and taking care of Nigerian citizens. As friends of Tomorrow, we'll always see what we can do, but the first responsibility for things like that lies with the Nigerian government.
Going by the history as told by elders in these settlements, Tomorrow Island has been in existence since 1914 and it's close to the Apapa Tinkan Island port, but its infrastructure development remains stunted. Yomi Otaibu reporting for Channels Television News.
Still ahead of the news at 10, League Management Company awards disputed game to Enugu Rangers as Giwa FC gets heavy fine for misconduct. Stay with us.